Dear brothers and sisters, it gives me great joy to spend the next few minutes with you as we all get a chance to be together. This is an opportunity for all of us to focus on what is truly important. When we look at our lives, we find that most of us are very diligent about certain aspects of our life. Most people are diligent about their money, their possessions, their cars, their houses. Students are very diligent about knowing their grades. And as we look at our lives, most of us, when we get our paychecks, we check very carefully. Were we paid for all the time that we did work? Were the taxes taken out properly? When we get our monthly statements from the banks, we're very diligent. We want to track if records at the bank are correct. Also, the house that we buy, periodically we're checking, how's the value of the house going up or not. Same thing happens with the cars. We want to keep them well. We see that they're running all right for us. And then we see that there are other aspects of life that we don't spend that much time on. If we really come to think of what is the most important possession that we have, and then do we spend any time in that direction? And if we all look at our lives are limited. We all, as we are born, get a certain number of breaths. That is the greatest possession that we have. Do we ever think about it? Do we think about how do we spend each one of our breaths? Are we maximizing it so that the breath is spent in a profitable manner? Are we using it so that that breath is used in a manner in which we will be propelled towards our goal? These are questions that we all need to answer for ourselves. Many times we find that a number of breaths go being used in those directions from where no gain comes to us. So the key of our existence is to get to a state where each and every breath that we take gives us the maximum benefit. So I'd like to relate an incident or a story to you. It's coming from the past. This is the story about a widow. Unfortunately, her husband had passed away and she had to take care of her little son. The weather was quite cold, very rainy. Things got to a state where the son fell sick. She tried to give him medicine, but his fever kept on going up and up and up. And she got very worried. She was living in an area which was sparsely populated, so not too many people were there. And so to get to a doctor, he had to go many miles away. When she realized that there was nothing that she could do to help her son, and his illness was getting worse and worse and worse, so she took it upon herself to walk in that windy, rainy night to go to the doctor in the next town. And she walked and she walked and she walked. And many hours later, she got to the house of the doctor and she knocked on the door. It was late at night. And the doctor opened the door up and asked her how he can help her. And so then she told him that her son was very, very sick and the town that she had come from, and that she needed help from him so that her son's life could be saved. Now, the first thought that came to the doctor as he looked outside was, the weather is so bad, it's so windy, it's so rainy, it's so cold. And now I have to go so many miles to go to this other town, and that lady seems very poor. Will she be able to give my fee? Will she be able to even buy the medicines, even if I prescribe some of them? And then he started thinking to himself, is it worth saving the life of this child? Because it looks like these are poor people, and maybe just to raise the son is a great burden on her. And as these thoughts came to him, all of a sudden, he remembered his graduation from medical school. And he remembered that one of the oaths that a doctor takes is to help everyone. So he said, no, I can't have thought like that. And he puts up his doctor's coat, and he takes his bag with her medicines, and he goes with her to her house. When he got there, he realized that the son was very, very sick. So he gave him the medicines. When he went to the house, he realized what great difficulties they seemed to be in financially. And so he gave the medicines, and he took care of the child, and with time the child got better. The doctor came back home, and he did not charge the woman any fees for his work. And so many, many years went by, and this doctor retired, and after he retired, you have more time to yourself. And so one day, reminiscing on the people that he helped, the patient that he helped, and how they were doing, and what happened with them, and also he comes across this case. And he was very happy to note that this young boy who he saved on that rainy night had become the prime minister of that country. And it was then that he started to realize that the breaths that he used during his services to the young boy were really, really used in the best possible manners. We all have breaths coming, and we never think about them. It's not how long we live, it's how we are leading our lives. What's the quality of a life? Are we leading in a manner in which it should be led? Or life is just passing us by? Saints and mystics are always exhorting us that this is a golden opportunity that God has been very gracious to give to us. Being in the human body is a great opportunity to truly know ourselves and to know God. That's what self-realization and God realization is all about. That we all can realize who we are. Many of us just think the way the body, many think we are our brains, many think we are the intellect. But the saints tell us that in reality we are all souls. And that soul is what gives life to this body. Even though we don't see it, it's there. Just like we breathe the air every day, we don't see it. But it's there. If there's no air, there's no oxygen, we're not going to be able to survive. It's the same thing with this human body. If the soul is in the body, this body is alive. When the soul leaves this body for good, it is said that this person has died physically. It doesn't mean that the end of our existence, it's just the end of this physical body. And then we cremate it, or we bury it based on what faith we belong to. And the body, which is made of matter, is put back into matter. So the purpose of the existence in this human frame is to be able to experience ourselves at the level of our soul. And that is what self-realization is all about. That we realize we are not the body, we realize we are not our brains, we realize we are not our intellect. That in reality we are soul. And through mechanisms which are available to each and every one of us, we can have that experience. Just like we see with these outer eyes and we hear with these outer ears. When our inner eye and our inner ears are open, when our spiritual eye is open, when our single eye or a third eye or the Divya Chakshu or the Dasmadwar is open, then we are able to take a journey within, to have an experience of who we truly are. It's a journey that goes from the physical to the divine. It's a journey that goes from darkness to light. It's a journey which unfolds our true being. It's a journey of light, it's a journey of love, it's a journey of beauty. Because as we go into the inner realms, vistas after vistas, which are more beautiful than we've ever experienced before, start to open up for us. Our experience is such that we experience more and more and more love that we have experienced from anyone else in this world. And we find ourselves in a state of bliss like we could have never imagined before. And so this journey that we take within is a journey which makes us realize who we are. Saints and mystics have exhorted us that to be able to go on the journey, we need to put ethical virtues into our life. We need to inculcate a life of non-violence. Because wherever there's violence, there's turmoil. Wherever there's turmoil, we can't be quiet. We can't be stilled. And wherever there's turmoil, we are unable to focus on the divine treasures within. So we need to be non-violent so we can be quiet and we can be peaceful. We need to be truthful. Because being truthful is to home into something which is always there. When you are not truthful, when you tell a lie, then to hide that lie you have to tell another lie here, another lie here, another lie here, and you have to track in your system what did you say to whom and what did you say to whom and when. And so there's much more turmoil in your being. And so to be truthful is not only in your thoughts, not only in your words, but also in your deeds. We need to be truthful about ourselves. We need to be truthful about others. We need to be talking about ourselves as we really are and not like portray ourselves as we want others to think that we are. And our actions need to be such that they are all truthful. And then only we would find peace. The key is to get to a state of peace. The key is to get to a state of stillness. The key is to be in that state so that the divine treasures can open up for us. Because if we are turmoil, we're never going to get there. And so the key is to be able to attain those states. We need to lead our lives in which we don't think of ourselves as being different from everyone else. We need to realize we're all one and the same. Because when we think of ourselves as being different than others, then duality sets in. And whenever there's duality, there's no question of finding God. Because duality says, I am this and you are this. You're different than me. We need to realize we're all one and the same and we are a part of God. Our soul, which gives us life, which is the real self, is a part of God. It has the same characteristics as God. Unfortunately, we don't recognize them, because we are shrouded, our soul is shrouded by layers and layers of mind, matter and illusion. So the saints tell us that we need to learn to go within and remove these layers, peel these layers off, so we can experience ourselves as we are. And once we get there, we realize we're all one and the same. We're conscious being. We're full of the love and light of God. And it is that realization which we need to experience to be able to fulfill the purpose for which we come into this world. Not only do we need to realize that we're all one and the same, the most difficult aspect of our being is our ego. Our ego makes us think we're better than everyone else. So life of humility is what is needed. The realization we're one and the same, we're at the same levels. No one's high, there's no one low. In Gurbani, Kabir Sahib has said, Awwal Allah Noor Paya, Kudrat ke sab bande, Ek Noor te sab jag upja, Kaun bhale kaun mande. So Kabir Sahib is saying, in the beginning was God. Whether we call him by the name God or Allah or Vaheguru or Jehovah or by any other name, Paramatma or Ishwar, these are names given by human beings. And from God came this creative power, whether you call it the holy word or the Shabd or the Naam or the light and sound of God. And that this power created many regions of creation. Everything that's created is created by this power. And so Kabir is saying, since everything that is created with this power of God, who are we to say this is good and this is bad? Everything is good. It's all coming from God. And so that's the vision of the saints. Everything that we experience is good, everything that we experience is holy. It's just that our point of view could be different. So when we realize that we live in a universe created by the Creator, by God, it's created in God's will, then we need to understand we're all at the same level. We're all coming from the same source. No one is high, no one is low. And once we truly understand that, and as we pass through life, we will experience that only when we connect with the divine power within. Because if we live at the level of our outer senses, if we only experience what comes through these eyes, if we only experience what comes through these ears, if we only experience through a sense of smell or a sense of taste or a sense of touch, then these are all interactions of others in this physical world. These are all physical interactions. We need to rise above them and experience ourselves at the spiritual level. And to experience ourselves at the spiritual level, we need to go within. We're not experiencing these eyes, we're not experiencing these ears, or by any other senses. We are experiencing here, at the single eye, the third eye, the Dasmadwar, the Shiv Netra. As this opens, then we are able to go on the spiritual journey within. A journey of love, a journey of light. And as we go on that spiritual experience, we find that everything is much more beautiful than anything that we experienced before. The love that we experience in the regions within is so tremendous that many people who are near that experiences, who came close to that, who came in the presence of a being of light and were embraced by this being of light, they all said that the love that they found was so tremendous that they didn't want to come back. Now they had spouses, they had children, they had parents, they had their loved ones here, but they said they did not want to come back because they had never experienced a love like that. And this was just a being of light. You can imagine when we experience God, how much love are we going to receive? That love of God is within our reach. It's not out in the sky, it's not far away. Each and every one of us can be with God. through one of his verses, Sant Rajinder Singh Ji Maharaj has said, I'm going to translate that into English. He says, you will surely find God. All you have to do is give a flight to your soul. God is closer to you than your jugular vein, but you need to sincerely cry out for God. Most of us do lip service. We're not very sincere in our efforts. We take God to be like a business dealer. When we need something, let's say our exams are coming, we pray very hard. Let's say we're not getting married, then we pray very hard and we try to make a deal with God and say, okay, if this thing happens, I will do this, this and this. If we are married, we're not having children, then we go on the same route also. So we take God to be like a business dealer, then we make a deal with God. God, if you do this for me, I will do this, this and this for you. It doesn't work like that. God doesn't need anything from us. God is the giver. God is the creator of everything. God owns everything. It's under God's will that we all live. And so it's our imagination, it's the darkness of our intellect which makes us think that we can make a deal with God. God does not need anything from any one of us, and God is very gracious, and God gives and gives and gives. And so when we get to a state where we are receptive and we can receive God's will, and we put God's will into our day-to-day life, then we are taking steps towards our goal. And so the principle of sweet is thy will, or tera bhana meetha lage, which is the same meaning. That principle is something that we need to put into our lives. God has been very gracious to put us in the state where we are today. Let us be thankful to God, let us be grateful to God, and let us put all our energies into trying to experience God. And that experience comes through meditation, through going within, because all the treasures are hidden deep within ourselves. So let us meditate for a few minutes. Please sit as comfortably as you can. Close your eyes very gently. Have your eyeballs be focused right in front of you. And as you close your eyes, those of you who have been initiated in the mysteries of the beyond, please do your Simran. And those of you who are new here, please repeat any name of God that you feel comfortable with. This repetition of God's name should be done mentally and not out loud. I pray to God Almighty to help each and every one of us connect with the divine power within. And it's my prayer to the three great masters of the past century, Hazur Baba Sawan Singh Ji Maharaj, Param Sant Kripal Singh Ji Maharaj, and the gracious Master Sant Rajinder Singh Ji Maharaj, to help each and every one of us experience the divine light in its effulgence. We'll be sitting for a few minutes. I'll be getting you out of this meditative state at that time, and my best wishes are with each and every one of you. प्लीज लीव ऑफ, छोड़ दीजिए जी.